But just happy Black History Month, everybody.
Yeah.
Got it. Really, 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 really. Don't have no sports updates. I'm gonna let it all go. Super Bowl is next week. That's gonna dominate the conversation this week.
But the city is busy. It is all over the Bay Area. There is a lot of people out and about.
Yeah. You got a couple events to
I'm
go
not.
to this week.
We're not going to any
No.
Super Bowl events.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
All right.
Why is the city so busy, Ian?
Oh, the city is so busy.
She
host something at
Oh,
the
wow.
Hall. I know that they're gonna host something at City Hall for the Super Bowl.
Well, so the
Are you talking about something else?
well, we're talking about the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So the Super Bowl is this next Sunday, February 8th, and they're leading up to that with flag football at Pro Bowl at the Moscone Center and just everything else. I was at Santana Row today, and they had all this NFL stuff going on there. So there's a lot going on.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Good job. Good job, Niners.
The Super Bowl is a big deal, no matter what.
It's the big game. And that's one of the things I hate, that we have to say the big game and not what you just said, because we so things can happen if we say that.
Oh, really?
The SB instead of the big game. It's weird. I don't like that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Good to know. Trademarks.
Let's talk about power, domination, and control.
Don't say it.
Can you explain that to me one more time?
So let me explain it.
Can't say
You can't say that. You can't say that
S
the super
P
that
ERB.
they want you to say the big game. If you notice, a lot of people say big game, the big game on Sunday. It's corny.
You can't sing happy birthday, right? Things are copyrighted.
Tell that to Stevie Wonder.
Interesting.
Man, all right.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how I feel. Exactly. What are we talking about here?
Yeah. It's Black History Month. Can I say that?
Yes. You
It's
can.
Black History Month. Woo! All right. Look, folks, let me tell you. Y'all got to jump on the phones early tonight for a lot of reasons. First, it's Black History Month. Second, we're going to do a book giveaway. We do that because we want you to read. We want you to learn. It's the best thing we can give to you is knowledge. You know what I mean? Best thing you can give people is knowledge.
It's
the best thing you can give some.
Yes.
Hey, look.
What if I gave you $1 million?
No.
You want to be talking about knowledge?
No.
Hold on, brother.
Yes, sir.
Let's slow down.
I'm slowing.
We trying to stay alive, rich, and
Well, let me tell you something. If you pay the money and I don't know how to handle it, the knowledge to handle it, it's gonna be gone.
That's oh man.
So the knowledge.
You always win, Doctor.
I
You and Lady Estelle always seem like I be thinking I got it, and y'all be like, no.
But you know what it is, man. We got the best of intentions for everybody, right?
Man.
So it ain't trying to win. It's trying to just help people, stay alive and free and maximize the opportunities that they get. Did I say that nicely, lady? I say that good.
Yes, that was very well said, Dr. Marshall.
All right, the soul is not feeling well tonight, so we're going to jump into the news because I want to get to the Black history and the callers and Outback. I get somebody a number right now. 877-951-1061, right? 877-955-1061. And write the number down. So when I say calls come on in. You're going to get something for calling. So, hey, you're going to get something good for your mind, your soul, your spirit. You're going to get some wonderful knowledge about Black history.
That's right.
And
well, we want to make sure that you know that you can also join us on YouTube live at Stay Alive and Free. And you can see what's going on here in the studio. You can see what Mike's eating for dinner.
I got some oxtails. Hey, shout out to my guy.
Don't say nothing.
Okay.
You have not offered me a spoonful of gravy, so you just keep that little oxtail.
He didn't make it this time. So.
Oh, he didn't make it?
No.
Oh, that's cool. Then.
Okay.
I want some authentic Mike cuisine.
Okay, yeah.
I want some Fillmore Mike cuisine.
I owe y'all. Oh, Miss. First of all, when Lady Estelle come,
it's on.
She's getting the full
on and cracking
smorgasbord.
Really? Oh my goodness!
I owe you.
Yeah.
I owe Miss Ann, and I owe you. I do owe you, even though you got an LA Dodger hat.
man.
Oh, you.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Leave it alone. I want the food. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get to the news. Journalist Don Lemon promises to fight federal charges following his arrest after Minnesota church protests. I don't even know what to say about some of these things. Apparently, they felt that he went to cover the
Protest in the
protest
church.
because apparently the pastor is a nice guy, so he went to check it out, and they said he was invading. I don't know. Some of the stuff I don't get. He's a journalist. Journalists go into war zones all over the world, right? You know, I mean, but he just went. So now the administration.
It's rough.
That's the only way I can say.
It was two other
Yeah.
journalists, right? Like
Yeah.
2 or 3 other
Yeah.
journalists.
Well, you know, they Don got a little cachet. He got a little place, so they really after him. They always do that. So anyway, Don Lemon said, "I have spent my entire career covering your news. I will not stop now."
He don't like Donald Trump.
In fact,
Well, you can say that.
I'm not gonna say who does, because people do, but I ain't one of them. Okay. In fact, there's no more important time than right now. This very moment for free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. All right, we hear that from Donald Lump. I mean from Donald Lump. Donald Lump. Oh Lord, that was what they call a
They share a first name.
Freudian slip.
That sounded about right.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Donald Lump. Yeah, that sounded about right.
He looking at me like, ooh,
Like you gonna get in trouble.
look, it's Black History Month. I'll probably get a whole lot of trouble after tonight. All right. Damon Wilson, who played Lamont on Sanford and Son, has passed away.
Mm. Mm.
Lamont. He was born in Valdosta, Georgia, and grew up in the Harlem neighborhood of Manhattan.
Oh.
Right, served in the U.S. Army in Vietnam and was wounded there, and returned to New York and acted on stage before heading to Hollywood. Do you still watch episodes of Sanford and Son? Am I the only one who catches from Sanford and Son?
Probably so.
Okay. All
Oh,
right.
it's on TV One.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you ain't got to be
Not, yes.
look, on TV One. Everything been on there like 50 times. So I mean, it's the same rotation. So you're gonna catch it just because you turn it on.
Mhm.
And you know, if you get caught in the middle of one, you're gonna watch it. Lady E, I know you don't watch some Sanford and Son.
Absolutely.
Damon Wilson.
Did
All
they
right.
say how old was he?
79.
Mm.
79.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that's
He lived.
good living.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hope he made a little money, and spend it wisely and live well. That's all you can do if you get some money. Apparently the San Francisco teachers, Mike, did you know that they're going to strike? They're going on strike. Did you know that?
San Francisco teachers.
Yes, they have overwhelmingly authorized their first strike since 1979.
Yeah, that's been a while.
And I remember that strike.
Why? You was
because
at Pearl Hill?
Yeah, I was at Pearl. I'm okay. I was at Aptus.
You was at Aptus Middle School.
I was after middle school.
I don't not like Aptus, but go
All
ahead.
right, I was there for a minute, and then after the strike, I ended up at Petro Hill. So yeah, strikes are never good for the kids. But teachers want their money. I understand.
Y'all need y'all money.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Lord. One day when ain't nobody around, I'm gonna tell you how much I got paid on my first teaching job.
Can you tell us now?
No,
I can.
Okay, thank you.
I
Let
don't
it
know how
through.
much he got paid, but mine was 29,000
For the year?
for the year.
Mm.
And this is in 1990?
No, mine was no. This was I had moved up the chain, but she's talking about her. I don't know what I mean.
Yeah.
You go ahead. You could tell them, Lady E.
I said it was 29,000. 29,000 and some change
That's like,
for a year.
so if it's 12 months in a year,
it's like
It was like no money.
it's like $2,000,
a month.
Right.
like 2,200, like 21
Yeah,
and some
Yeah,
change
yeah.
every.
and teachers. I mean, hey, look,
You guys pay for kids sometime.
Yep.
Teacher used to be like, I can't afford this, but you know what?
Oh yeah,
Like,
Yes.
well, I'm
Well,
gonna
y'all
pay
can
for
buy
it. I'm
stuff
gonna
and bring
pay for
it
it because I can't
yeah.
I can't hit up the principal. I just got to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to get,
Those
if you
are-
want it done,
That it's a calling. They
shout
love,
out to Miss
they love
Levin
you.
and
Yes.
Miss Ma.
I hope they listen.
She ain't listening. It don't
Oh,
matter.
okay.
But Levin and Miss Ma was and Miss Lau too as well. Sutro. I went to Sutro Elementary.
Oh, Sutro. Nothing better than a good teacher.
Yeah.
I love
Yep.
it. Best profession. I was blessed to become a teacher. I really was. You got to when you find out the calling, your calling is nothing better.
People be calling you from 30 years ago. They be like, Dr. Marshall, you was my teacher in middle school.
I saw somebody last night, Lady E, at the the event. I saw you. You got a picture, right? I know they're gonna take a picture and send it to you. A couple of Deltas took a picture and they said they're gonna send it to you.
Oh, okay.
And she came up and she said, Dr. Marshall, this is my teacher at McAteer. Yeah, it's like, the whole bit, it be like that. And so I always ask, was I a good teacher? Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. You were one.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they lying.
No, they ain't. That's the
They're a
thing.
lie. They're fibbing.
That's what made me feel good.
Hey, you know
If they
what
were
that
one
remind,
man, it would be all right.
that remind me of somebody be like, how does food taste? You ain't gonna say the food tastes bad to you about you right here. I was as a
Man, why
teacher.
you gonna bring me down, man?
You're a great teacher, man.
I was.
Yes, sir.
No, I mean, yeah, I ain't bragging.
Still is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, let's get into Black History. Black History Month.
Wait.
I'm ready. What? Got something to say?
Well, okay, I did want to shout out Slime World in Vallejo. We had an amazing experience at Slime World. The owner, Allie, it was so sweet and like
Okay.
young people love playing with slime, and it's like they can be in their own world playing with it or just playing with each other. It is such an experience. So I just wanted to say thank you for having it be so fun with the glitter and the little extra doodads that she gives the kids and the cleanup. We didn't have to help. She was like, let me do it. And she was, working with different schools and stuff. So I just really love that. I think it's great when we have people out there in the world who are doing new things to help young people kind of explore and I don't know, just learn in a different kind of way. I think that one of the terms was ASMR too. So thank you, Allie at Slime World in Vallejo, California.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Here's the first headline about Black History Month. Lady E, Fillmore Mike, and this is 100 years ago. Lady E, Black History Month had begun, right?
That's amazing.
1926. This
Wow.
is 2026, right?
Yes.
1926, the precursor to Black History Month was created by Carter G. Woodson.
Wow.
Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life. It announced that the second week of February would be, they call it Negro History Week. The week was chosen because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln on February 12th and of Frederick Douglass on February 14th, both of which dates the Black communities have celebrated together since the late 19th century. So it's been 100 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
That's nice. So just for that, I'm
yes.
juiced. Just for
Yes.
that. Okay. Now, here's the part I'm also juiced against. 100 years later, they're trying to roll it all back. 100 years later, 100 years of knowledge, 100 years of trying to get this information out.
Yes.
100 years, here we are in February of 2026, and it's like, no, y'all can't tell that story no more. Y'all can't tell that story no more. And I don't think anybody like, look, this administration got problems with a lot of things. But one of the things they got problems with is Black American history, right? Under the guise of anti-DEI, which is the guise, okay? They're rolling back civil rights, their voting rights. That they have renamed federal landmarks like forts after Confederate generals and taken. I mean, they did a whole bunch of stuff, and they continue to do it.
Like a week ago, they took down the U.S. Park staff had to take down the slavery exhibit plaques from
Philadelphia.
Yeah, the museums. So
And let me tell you
that's
why.
not going
Ann.
to stop us from learning, right? And
But-
knowing,
no, but
sharing.
Let me tell you why.
Mhm.
It's because they said
Mm,
that man. Is he a man? Okay.
mm.
What do they call him? All right.
That's true. Is he a man? That's a great question.
He basically said that he put out a executive order. You know, he's big on executive orders. Uh, uh, entitled "Restoring Truth and Sanity."
Lady, so
I'm sorry, wait a minute, hold up.
I'm gonna let that play out, lady. Sometimes you keep laughing and you can't stop. You want to keep going on this one?
Say that again.
An executive order restoring truth and sanity to American history, which now you got me laughing, right? Now, first of all, which says remove anything that inappropriately makes the United States look bad. Anything. Don't matter if it's true. You can't make the United States look bad. But to call it, Lady E, I'm gonna let you have this one, truth and sanity. Now, number one,
don't make her spit out her coffee.
that man ain't about no truth. Can we get that straight? I don't even know why he put truth in there, because he ain't about no truth. I don't think he told George Washington can tell like what you did. He can't tell the truth no matter what.
Yeah.
He can't. He can't do it. All right. Sanity, he and sanity don't really like go together, right? So restoring truth and sanity, he really need that to give to himself, not to oh Lord, right? So basically anything that makes America look bad. So in this exhibit, Mike, so let me tell you how this is. CNN, I love Abby Phillip, kind of.
I love Abby Phillip.
But she
No, I love her.
Okay, all right. I like her because she's a sister. But she's very patient and tolerant.
Of Scott Jennings, I know.
Well, they had some other people on, and Abby is saying, well, isn't this like racism? And, why are you taking this exhibit down? Because it told the truth about, George Washington, and the slaves and all the people who were involved in it. And they said, well, that can go too far. And that's what these people said on CNN. That's what TV. That can go too far. And they said, well, and everybody knows that George Washington had slaves now. Yeah. Everybody don't know. Let's get that straight. Everybody don't know. We get kids that come in all the time, and I tell them, what? Wow. So let's get that straight. You people who are on TV, everybody don't know. Number two, and he says, well, then it gets to the point, you're just trying to make George Washington look bad. No, George Washington made himself look bad.
I mean,
can you believe that? How you gonna make somebody look bad when they did it?
Yep.
If I find out the truth about somebody and they say, you trying to make them look bad. No, you made yourself look bad, right? If you've done stuff let me get, okay, I'm on one tonight. George is supposed to be the father of the country, right? He's the father, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If your father was whatever, a slaveholder, a pimp, which I know some daddies who are pimps, right?
Right.
And you ain't supposed to know that. And it's making him look bad for the truth, because if you don't know the truth, then something can happen. If I had known, I could, but somehow, all right, cool. So, Black history is
Malcolm
about
X. Malcolm X talked about it. It's sad, but it's ultimately the guiltiness. What y'all did, what your forefathers did to us, our forefathers and mothers, you're afraid we're gonna do the same thing to you. And honestly, I had a conversation with somebody. I'm like, you know what? I don't even think we would do that.
Like, we ain't never.
That's
never.
not even. And I love Malcolm. I love Malcolm because he always says, we're not known for doing that.
That's the point.
You are known for doing that.
Right.
Now, so what are we talking about?
I don't want, look.
Yeah.
Look.
We're not known to be a violent.
Right.
So one of my students told me that. I had one of my graduate students tell me he was concerned, European American and gay. And he was first year school psychology graduate student. And I had a class of graduate students. And he said he was he was afraid to be in my class. he didn't, and I couldn't understand why, the reason. And he said, well, I look at you and I am concerned that you are going to do to me what my people have done to you.
Mm.
And he said that out of his mouth. I mean, with all the other kids around. And I looked at him and I said, baby.
As only you could.
I ain't thinking about you.
I said, I answer to somebody much higher than you, your people. You don't have to worry about me, because I would never do to anyone what your people have done to me and mine. So you're in a safe place. Of course, that made him even more concerned.
Right.
Because you
Can that be? Knowing what we did to you.
Man.
No, I answer to somebody higher.
Oh Lord,
Man.
and there's a whole list of things that have been done. So let's get into this, folks. I'm gonna open up the phones. 877-955-1061. Black History Month. We telling you the truth. We ain't holding back. I'm gonna say some stuff you ain't never heard before, and I really am. I got some stuff. Now it's important to know how people think about you, especially people who have power over you. You know, in this case, presidents. You know, people who can make laws that govern you, because how they think of you, what I want to say, impacts the laws they make about you.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you really want, I mean, if you got presidents that think a certain way about you, that's when they go into making laws. It's the same thing as police. That's why when you heard police doing racist text messages and so on and so forth, you be like, hey, they can't be policing the community because they think about the community, right? So we're gonna lay some stuff on you have not heard before, but so let's go to the phones. 877-955-1061. I'm gonna ask a couple questions, and in between, we will fill in some stuff here. The first thing I want to know, remember we're doing a book giveaway, is what do you know about Black history? What do you know about Black history? And what would you like to know more about? What would you like to know more about? And also, how has your knowledge of Black history impacted your life? I certainly know it has had a huge impact on my life. I can just say I wouldn't be here in this chair right now doing this had it not been for me knowing my history and my culture, which I did not know before. Also, I may give you a little trivia thing when you come on, ask you a few questions. If you get them right, I'll give you some easy stuff. Like, what's my name? No. and we're going to do a book giveaway. We're going to do one or two books, I think, and we're going to give away one or two books. And so 877-955-1061. What do you know about Black history?
First of all, Black history is American history.
There you go.
We need to start there.
Black history is American history.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Can you give Mike?
I got a book. I'm getting a book.
Mike.
Yeah, man, you're in the book.
It's lit.
Okay. And what would you like to know more about? And how is all right? We got somebody?
No, we don't.
We don't. 877-955-1061. Give us a call.
But it's so true and deep.
It's American history.
It's so, I mean, yes.
So that means what George did is American history.
Yep.
I got stuff about Lincoln. I got stuff about all people. Everything that has happened here to Black people in America is American history.
Facts.
So if you only want me to hear the good part, then do that. 877-95. And when you call, don't hang up because I get people
hanging up, whoever that is.
No, I get people. I call for hours. I couldn't get in. Well, if you got to stay on the line. 877-955-1061. I will make my opening statement about Black history. Lady E, you've heard this. This is my second opening statement, right? Okay. Black people in America are not the descendants of slaves.
Yes.
They are the descendants of a free people who were captured and enslaved. A free people who were captured and enslaved. But for years, I didn't know that. So I just thought we were descendants of slaves. And it did not make me feel good. It's like I was born, my people were born in slavery. We weren't born in slavery.
Words
were
matter.
captured,
Yeah.
kidnapped, and enslaved, which makes us different from anybody else
Yeah.
Words matter.
that have hit these shores. 877-955-1061. Give us a call. Oh, is that somebody? Yep, or is that just me?
No, that's her. She got to turn up. When you call in, please turn down your radio.
Turn your radio down, dear, or her, or sir, or what? You there?
Oh.
All right, we got you, man. Thank you. Our opening caller. What do you know about Black history, and what would you like to know more about? And if you want a trivia question, I'll do that too. But happy Black History Month. Go right ahead. Say your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Greg. I'm calling from Oakland, California.
Yes, sir.
And what I do know about Black history is that African Americans are pioneers for a lot of Black people rights because we were, put against this system where we were supposed to be under a certain group of people. And so these pioneers that led, civil rights movements and, things like that, revolutions, say, you know what, it's enough. And that's what I call leaders. So what I'm really trying to say is what I know about Black History Month is it's about pioneers that led a group of people to freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a rich history. That is certainly one. We've been studying Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement in the last 3 weeks with the young people.
Right.
They were blown away, man. They had no idea. This is 60 years ago. They were like, what? All that was going on?
Right.
Why did you be? Look, let me tell you, brother, every time we teach Black history during Black History Month, I'm going to work because I got something for you. All right, these kids, is he gone? Oh, okay. They always say, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So for this person to be on TV saying everybody knows that, no, everybody don't know it because these kids don't know. And Black History Month in particular is about finding out the rich history that you're talking about. All right, now which book you want? We're gonna give you either my kickoff Black History book, autobiography of Malcolm X.
Oh, give him that. Give him that.
Give him the autobiography.
Have you read that book?
No, I haven't.
Okay, we're gonna get you that book. Okay.
He didn't graduate California high school because all California high schools must read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and I think that's the greatest thing California high schools have ever done.
Brother, we're gonna get you that book.
Man, I got a lot of documentaries that I have on, VHSs and DVDs and stuff like that. So I'm a visual learner, so I rather,
Hey, check this out.
But then pass the book on to somebody else, though. Really,
one of the most visual books you can read is the autobiography of Malcolm X. You will read that book in like 3 days, brother. It's like 700 pages. I'm kidding you not, bro.
I tell you what, give it to somebody else. It's Black History Month, and best thing to give away is knowledge. Thank you for your call, man. Thank you so much for your call. All right, and got you. All right, 877-955-1061. 877-955-1061. What do you know about Black history, and what would you like to know more about? And how has your knowledge of Black history impacted your life?
He said he's a visual learner.
Yeah.
Malcolm X is one of the most, I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I was mesmerized.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Reading that book. Literally. And then when you kind of like, because I was 10 and Spike Lee movie Malcolm X came out. So it was kind of like, I was reading a book and I didn't need the movie.
Yeah.
You don't need the movie. He
did a good job in the movie, but the book is unbelievable. That's how it starts for me.
Oh, we got Rich. We got Rich calling right now.
Rich, you up?
Rich out the way.
Rich, go right ahead.
So Rich.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, mama.
Well, I'm a Latino white guy.
What?
And
Everybody something, brother.
Are you like a white Latino?
That's what running.
Well, I'm a mixed mutt, man.
You are what you are, brother.
Yeah.
You didn't have
right.
no choice.
Right. Well, I have to actually work at it to study and learn, but not just Black
Mm-hmm.
origins and you know any other. And well, I know Kemet. I know you guys be teaching Kemetic studies.
Yes, we do.
We do.
And yeah, and so I think I think people out there, you should talk more about it so they could go beyond even you know these you know this millennia, you know
Yes.
this the slave trade. I mean, because that goes back thousands. I think up to like 6,000 plus
Absolutely.
years.
Thousands of years back.
That's the origin, even an origin of the before the Bible or even the Torah, and that's what I heard. There's some YouTube, yeah.
And see, that's why it's
freaking
important.
old it is.
Let me just say, that's why it's important to say Black folks in America were not the descendants of slaves; they were descendants of a free people who were captured and enslaved. So you want to know? I mean, that maybe what was it like when we
That
was
changed
free?
the whole dialect.
Oh, they changed the
It
whole
changed
dialogue.
everything.
Oh, everything.
You were enslaved.
Yeah, right.
You weren't just
Yeah.
slaves.
No, we were enslaved. Like you was kidnapped, and I took you somewhere, and gave you a new name and a new identity. You still feel more Mike.
If I could add in, it's what the pyramids. See, there's two types. There's the Giza pyramids,
Yeah.
the ones that point to the Orion belt,
Yeah.
and they say that the structure, you know, with the pointing to true north, and the measurements and the arrangement, it takes.
I heard.
You know, I think Wakanda, the movie, the Wakanda with Black Panther and everything. I think whoever created that movie,
Right.
stuff, they probably were.
He was dropping that ancient African stuff on folks.
The thing that's
In
interesting.
Black Panther. Oh yeah.
Egypt and below Egypt is what Tanzania.
Oh yeah. Oh now.
They have
yeah.
pyramids there too.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of people don't even talk about. Tanzania, I believe it's Tanzania, or it's right below Egypt.
Right below Egypt.
They have a set of pyramids as well.
Yeah.
That's just as ancient, just as remarkable.
Now, see, the thing is, and you understand when the knowledge gets open, and you're like, I didn't know that. Then you go, what else don't I know, right?
Facts.
And then it leads you to that. Then it leads you to. And I got the perfect book for you, brother. I'm gonna send you from the Browder file. No, hold on. I'm gonna send you because we got the call from the Browder file. You already there. You ready to go back and learn some deep stuff. But we're gonna send you from the Browder file by Anthony Browder. It's a great book.
That's a good book.
Okay, and got you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, love you, brother. Happy Black History Month.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Rich.
brother.
Rich, we should be. How long we should be on? He usually tell us we used to be on 2 hours. The conversation is so deep, he didn't even mention that tonight.
877-955-1061. 877-955-1061. Come on. What do you know about Black history? And what would you like to know more about? Obviously, he'd like to know about ancient African history. He mentioned Kemet. How has your knowledge of Black history impacted your life? Mike, I'm going to tell you, I got into it with let me tell you how.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to use the word sick to me people are. So, sometimes I get a little social media thing going, and I was telling this dude about the history of Black people in America.
Yeah.
And he replied to me, you should be happy that Black people were captured and enslaved. He didn't say enslaved. You'd be happy because it took you out of Africa and made you civilized.
Have people seen Africa? How
That's what
it
this
is?
fool. Excuse me, did I say fool? Say
You can
it.
say that.
How you gonna be 220 and tell me slavery was a good thing for Black people? That's what this. But my point is, there are people out there who think like that, walking around in the country right now.
Yeah.
This wasn't 100 years ago. This is right now. How you're on street soldiers, go right ahead. Please say your name, where you're calling from, and what do you know about Black history? What would you like to know? Hello, you are on.
Hey, what's going on? My name is
Donnell.
I'm originally from Oakland, California.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How y'all fellas doing today? And ladies?
Oh, lady's fine. She's waiting fine. She's waiting for your comments.
Lady still said hello.
Oh, my comment is, I'm engulfed in Black history. My grandfather And my grandmother actually was close friends to Malcolm X. My grandmother used to babysit Muhammad Ali kids.
Are you kidding?
So it was kind of, no, I'm not kidding. We used to live in Mississippi back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. My grandmother is them from Mississippi, Boston, Mississippi. And they used to go on the trips to New York, you know, when they had the meetings with Malcolm X and his wives and stuff like that to look after their kids. And Betty Shabazz was one of my grandmother's close friends.
Wow.
One of Muhammad Ali's first wife. My grandmother used to babysit her kids. So I have those stories that's been passed down. You know, my grandfather and my grandmother had property in Mississippi. They had a restaurant. They had a wash house. And this is in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, where Black people didn't really have means to have their own stuff and own property. But my grandfather and my grandfather, when the military would come to town, they would go to their restaurants and have food there, from black, white, green, yellow, it don't matter. Because it was one of the places where, you know, you could get good food, good hospitality, and the owners were amazing. But my family, we were removed from Mississippi, I'm going to say it like that, because of racism.
Yeah.
My grandfather was
folks,
big in the community, you know. So when it came to things that had to get done, where it came to politics and stuff like that, they shined down on him or shunned down on him because he was Black. And they actually paid some Black people to burn down most of our property except for the house that we live in. And my grandfather died right before we moved to California. But that's just a story about how, you know, it is. Go ahead.
Brother, so you saying that Black people
they sent some
in Mississippi burned down your property to get you to move out of Mississippi?
I'm going to say it like this. They were paid.
They were paid.
Or
Yeah.
They were paid or pump fear into their hearts to make them do the things. Kind of like the assassination of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Where they lied and
Like
said
his
that
dad,
he was
like how
assassinated
he
by
did
Black
his
people.
dad.
Or people infiltrated the Black Panthers, infiltrated, you know, the
Fact.
infiltrators.
Yeah.
Those are people
Yeah.
paid him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
let me
if,
ask you,
so I
let me
get
ask
the
you real
same-
quick. Do you have conversations in your family about this? 'Cause, man, that is amazing. I mean, you sit around with your cousins and the uncles and the man. Oh man, that's beautiful, man.
Dude,
That's beautiful.
we my grandfather and grandmother owned 19.5 acres of property. I still have the deed work and paperwork.
Don't let them take
for
your
all of
property,
the
brother.
that they own.
Don't let them take
Oh, my
your
uncle-
property.
Yeah, my uncle is a head over there. He live in Chicago and
Okay.
he it can't be actually the property can't be passed over to anybody else unless everybody that's in the family sign up for own.
Right.
I don't know how many people it is.
Yeah, and because that has happened. You know, they got an eminent domain. They take folks' property. We know that. That down in Long Beach, they did something like that. Look here, man. We gonna move on. Thank you for the call. Which book do you want? You can have the autobiography,
He probably read that.
or you can. Okay, we're gonna send him to From the Bridal File. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know he
Yeah,
read
you
that.
got that. We're gonna send you From the Bridal File. Part 1.
I got one quick book.
Go.
Yes.
The pine. I can't remember the name of the book. It's
Pine
called
Needle?
the inventors and pioneers of America. Black inventors or pioneers of America.
Yeah, I'm about to give somebody a trivia question if we can get to it.
You know that book?
No, but I mean, I know, but no, I don't know the book. But that a lot of Black inventors, we love to do that. Thank you for your call. Thank you for the recommendations. We're writing. If you got a book to recommend,
Yeah.
you know,
I think it's so important.
Well,
You
yeah.
always have good books, Dr. Marshall. I love it.
Dr. Marshall do be having some good
Yes.
books.
That's how I read this stuff.
Yes.
Lady E.
Lady
we read
E.
this stuff. We read this. So The Color of Law. Let me throw a book out there, Color of Law.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about what happened to Black people was legal. They put it in laws. Everything from redistricting to Jim Crow segregation. Yeah,
That's the sad part about things. Sometimes you be like, well, this is what it is. I'm like, well, bruh, people were enslaved.
Yes.
And that was law.
It's a law.
That don't mean that it's right.
That was thank you.
You have to know who you are, your conscience, and you have to realize
That was
like,
the law.
that's the law. Like
Law, right? They made laws like that.
crazy.
877-955-1061. Give us a call. 877-955-1061. You see, we doing a book giveaway. I want to know what you know and how the knowledge of history, Black history, has impacted your life. If there was a title for Black history, it would be, Lady E, that wonderful movie, Hidden Figures.
Think
Because
so?
this is all about stuff that was hidden. Did you learn anything in high school? In any school at all, other than
Well,
Rosa
I
Parks?
went to a different school.
Okay, I learned nothing.
Gateway. Gateway was pretty cool because we
Okay.
had teachers that taught college. What's the history of the United States?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
people's history.
yeah. So you got
Zen
something.
Howard Zen.
Yeah. Okay.
So you learned different stuff, and we
Okay.
had to read Malcolm X.
Oh, let's see that right
You
there.
had white
It-
girls read Malcolm X. They were like, "Oh, he's a real."
It's true.
It changed their life.
It
They were
is
looking at me like, "Who is this guy?" Like Martin Luther King is awesome,
Oh yeah.
but when they was like,
Look, there's a whole lot of people who fought for.
and then my teacher, he was so good. Like one thing that he loved about Malcolm, Malcolm, like he only had 25 seconds to talk.
Oh, he
And
sound
he would-
bites.
and
It was
that
amazing.
sound bite was,
He could say more with 10 words. And
he would
Yeah.
break down the biggest concepts for elementary school.
we say,
kid.
we say, just because you sit at the table don't mean you a diner. So that's a Malcolm X kind of thing. All right, we got somebody.
We
Yeah.
did. They
Okay, all
left.
right, call again. Don't hang up. We'll get you when we can. 877-955-1061.
Got about 10 more minutes.
Ooh, yes. What do you know about Black history, and what would you like to know more about? How has your knowledge of Black history impacted your life? And we're gonna do a show on Black Cowboys, I think. And I want to know more about that.
Can't
I know a
wait.
little bit about it. I don't know a
can't
lot.
wait.
I know a little about it. I
There's
I
so
know
many out
and I-
there.
yeah, I
It's
know.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I met a young steer rider, and I was like, "You do?" And he plays the guitar, and it's just there's so much. out
Sound like
there.
you got a
It's
crush on Miss Ann.
beautiful. I just love when people embrace themselves, and like allow us to be who we are. It yes.
They said that
You
the
stop it.
Cowboys, when they first came out, they weren't Cowboys.
Right.
They were like Cowboys was like they talked about them in a bad way.
We gonna go into all of that right here because this "Still I Rise" is a perfect poem for Black folks.
Oh man.
We got somebody?
No.
877-955-1061. Call in and please tell us what do you know about Black history, and what would you like to know more about? And how has your knowledge of Black history impacted your life? And we're doing a book giveaway. In fact, I'm gonna throw something else. So you can call in and tell me 5 inventions by Black folks. There's 5 by Black Americans. I will give you the book. Okay. Maybe that'll get you on. Maybe get you. And if you don't know, you'll know.
Can we talk to Lady Estelle?
Lady E, he wants to talk to you.
Yes, Sir Mike.
I just want to hear.
He just want to hear your voice.
I just want to hear.
He want to hear your perspective on things.
You be hitting her or whatever. You be like, she be like, "What are you talking about? You talking to me for? We've been talking for 2 hours." Mrs. Steele is the greatest.
Oh, you sweetheart. Thank you.
Lady, while waiting for the call, do you want to talk about how the knowledge of history and culture, Black history, has impacted your life?
First of all, I took a walk through the pyramids in Egypt. But I think one of the things that impacted me the most was sitting around the tomb of Isis. And I think that was in Luxor. And just some people don't understand when you start talking about energy. So let me just say how that felt. How it felt being in a space where a woman was valued to the point where, she was iconic even more than that. But the impact of that just kind of swept me not off my feet, but pulled me inside into all that I am, as well as all that I can be, especially when you're connected with He who holds the world in space. You know, that being in Africa and on ground that is truly sacred, it just has an impact that you can't even put words to. You know, and then you find out that one of the funnest things that I would do would be to study astrology. And when I discovered that that was identified, cleared, and made known by Africans who studied the stars. What? I mean, that was my people who studied the stars, could see them and drew them out. You know how you connect the dots? They were
Right.
connecting the stars. And out of that connection, they created and identified what each group of stars were. So we say, what's your sign? Okay. What is a collection of the stars? And where were they at the time that you were born? When you came into the world, the collection of stars that were present, they were called Sagittarius. It's amazing.
Let them know.
Let them know.
Shout out to
Let
the
'em know.
Aquarians.
Let them know.
We
Let
got a
'em know.
caller.
All right. You're on Street Soldiers. Go right ahead. Where you calling from? What's your name? What do you know about Black history? What would you like to know more about? Or what impact has it had on your life? Or you can give me 5 inventions by Black Americans. We're going to get you some knowledge. Go right ahead. Oh, you there?
Hi.
Oh.
You there?
Stormy Love,
Hey, what's up,
El
Miss
Cerrito,
Stormy?
California.
Hey.
It's a song by Rick James
You want to hear Stormy Love by Rick James?
called Stormy Love.
Okay, good.
A man listened to it and thought that was me.
Okay, got it.
So, America's Clock, the mailbox,
Oh, the
potato chips.
potato chip.
Oh, okay. Oh, say those again. I'm checking them off.
Mailbox.
The mail. You right about the mailbox? Absolutely. Letter drop mailbox. Go ahead. What else?
America's First Clock, so they know what time it is.
That's a good
Clothes dryer.
These are books, right?
Peanut butter.
No,
Oh,
invention.
George Washington
Inventions.
Carver. Right.
Got
I
it.
got you. All right. That's
And the automatic gear shift.
yes. All right. That is correct.
She right.
That's the automatic gift.
Yep.
All right. You got it.
What book you want?
You want Malcolm X or do you want From the Browder File?
I'm trifling because I didn't read Malcolm. I didn't see the movie for 6 years, Malcolm X. My brother's name is Malcolm, so we don't need that one.
All right. You got
What's the second book?
it. From the Browder File by
That's
Anthony
more of like-
Browder.
The Broader Files is more like a
It's a collection of essays.
it's a collection of essays.
You know, the importance of melanin. It's deep now. It's deep.
I like that book.
It's
Thank
deep.
you. You get
It's
it.
deep.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah,
You want that one?
I want that one.
All right, you got it. Thank you for calling. Let the knowledge flow. Let the knowledge begin. All right, you're on Street Soldiers. Go right ahead. Name, where you calling from, and tell us. You're
My
on.
name is Wendy.
Thank
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yes. Speak just a little louder.
I said I'm Wendy, calling from Oakland. I know that they use the Bible against us to make us think.
Mm.
I know that we were kings and queens. I know that they gave guns to the tribes in Africa to turn against each other to entrap us, because they always say, "Oh, well, we killed each other." Yeah, but who brought the guns over? You know. And so, therefore, I know that when the slaves did come here, when they were divided in their culture, their religion, and all, where they were in the fields, they used to hum so they could get to. And when people were hum in their language, then they know that they were people there that were in their tribes that they could relate to.
You know, to this day, you're gonna get any book you want. To this day, Mike, and I'm gonna say this to you, because they still try to say, I've had people say, somehow everybody had slavery. There were slaves and this. And somebody told me, well, Slavs come from slavery, whatever. There was no slavery in the history has been like
No, it's
what
never.
happened here.
Yeah.
What happened here? Okay,
People,
let's
people,
get that straight.
yeah.
But it's what
The killer
slavery.
part
Yeah, go ahead.
to me is they want to get rid of Black history, but they don't talk about. They don't want to get rid of the Holocaust. They don't want to get rid of
Yeah.
other, but they want to keep that alive. But they don't. But you know, the truth
Because
is
that happened
that
here
they
in
know the
America. Because that happened
No,
here in
they know
America.
truth.
Yeah.
But they know it, and they embarrass. And
Right.
then the killer part of it is civil rights wasn't that long ago, you
Right,
know,
right.
and it's what 60. And so people say, "Oh, that was a long time ago. Oh, it happened then. That wasn't my grandfather, or I was."
Well, I'm gonna tell
They
you
don't want to
something.
know.
Let me tell you
Because
something that happened more recently. The flood of crack cocaine into neighborhoods was deliberate and intentional. Okay, that is like 10 years ago. All right. Thank you so much. Whoa, we get a book. We got sent us some.
We got hella books to give away.
We got book. We got. Is it time for us to get ready for the second hour?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
All right.
So we are going to keep this conversation going. Let's celebrate Black History Month with Street Soldiers Radio. Head on over to YouTube Live at Stay Alive and Free and stay up with all that we do at stayaliveandfree.org.
Let me tell them the topic of we're gonna look at how history and culture and knowledge back has impacted one family in particular.
Ooh,
All right, we'll be back.
ooh, a teaser. I like it.
Our number two, Alive and Free Street Soldiers Radio, first show of Black History Month 2026 in a climate, Lord, that don't want to trying to erase, make you forget, make you not even know Black history. And however, it is, as I said in the first hour, 100 years since the beginning of Negro History Week. Carter G. Woodson, which officially became Black History Month. And just for the folks that don't know, February was chosen because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. So when anybody complains that money gave us the shortest month of the year, number one, it was a week in February for that reason. And so, oh Lord, people say that I even know what to say. All right. Love that first hour. Love the book giveaway. Love the callers. I thank them so much for doing that. And anytime we ask the callers to respond, they do.
Yeah.
And I always say, I know this is a hip hop station, R&B, but we got the most thoughtful, remarkable caller, as far as I'm concerned, in all of radio. This hour, we want to probe into, because remember the original question that I asked the folks was, what do you know about Black history? What would you like to know more about? But this time I want to spend more time on how has your knowledge of Black history impacted your life, and in this case, a family's life. You heard that call in the first hour. I'm going to talk about the history that he had in his family. You knew Malcolm X and all those other people. So I had to pick a family, Ann, to do this with.
Oh.
So I chose my own family. My own family. My own family. The Marshall family to have this conversation about how has your knowledge of Black history impacted your life and the families.
I'm so excited.
And I want to introduce, well, first let me just say, okay, let me just wave your hand in the air. I want to introduce James Marshall. Please raise your hand, James Marshall. I want to introduce Jerry Marshall. Please raise your hand. And I want to introduce Denise Marshall. Now, these are three of my siblings. Just folks out there, there are nine Marshall siblings, children of Joseph and Odessa Marshall, 9 of us.
Wow.
2 of us have gone on to glory. There are 7. I am the oldest. I didn't choose it. That's the way it came out. All right. My brother James is number 3. My brother Jerry is number 5. And my sister Denise is number 6.
Aww.
I hope the rest of them are watching. In fact, I hope the whole Marshall clan is watching, because certainly I would say that our individual knowledge of Black history and Black culture has impacted our families. So I'm gonna let each one of them say hello, just hi, and thank me for having them on. And then I will we'll go on, and we're gonna do this. I told them, man, we're gonna do it in birth order.
Oh, I love
So
it.
I get to speak first, then my brother James, then my brother Jerry, and my sister Denise. So
she has as many books as you do, Dr. Marshall.
oh, she got books. Oh, when we get to her, it's all over. I'm telling you, when we get to her, it's gonna be all over. See, I'm saving her for last because it's gonna be all over. I mean, but all over. All right, brother James, how you doing? Glad to have you tonight. Why don't you unmute and say hello to lady? Oh, you gotta unmute. There you go. What's
Right.
happening?
Well, my name is James Marshall. I'm the third oldest in the Marshall clan, and it's an honor to be here. And Joe, thanks for the invitation.
Of course. Jerry.
I echo the same sentiments of my brother James and, of course, my oldest brother Joe. And I want to say I'm just happy to be alive and free. And thank you for having me on the show.
And Denise. I'm not going to tell that Denise story.
Please don't. Please don't. Please
Yeah,
don't.
I'm not.
I am Denise Marshall Mills, and honored to be here, privileged to be here, and truly honored to be a child of Joe and Odessa Marshall.
Thank you. So I tell you what, let's also dedicate this as the show tonight to our brother and sister who is no longer here, Deborah Ann Marshall, number 2, and John Winston Marshall, who was number 5, who have gone on to glory, and also both of our parents, who are also gone on to glory, and our grandmother. All right, and I'm sure they are all watching.
Shay.
So I get to start. And I'll talk about, you know, and we all okay. So they know this, but the audience doesn't know this. But I learned nothing about Black history in school. Nothing. All right, and I went to Catholic school, great education, and didn't learn zip. Right. And there were things that happened, you know, at school that, you know, wasn't cool. But I always say my elementary school and high school education was educationally sound, but socially bereft. And when I went to college, my first encounter with Black history was, and I owe everything to this book, was reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. That was it. That was the big. And I always say, you know, I stumbled on this because none of this was intentional. None of this was intentional. Now, fortunately, I lived at a time in the civil rights movement when, you know, I say a lot, I'm Black and I'm proud, you know, when we use the word consciousness is coming to the fore. And, you know, things were happening at my school, University of San Francisco. But it was the book that led to everything. And in fact, it wasn't even the autobiography that I read first. It was Malcolm X on Afro-American history. I remember that because a lot of times people ask me where can I start. So I give them this little bitty book. But, you know, some people don't like big books. I give them little books, 88 pages. And I picked up that book and I was like, wow. Because even as a kid growing up, y'all say I got the LA hat on? Growing up in Los Angeles, I knew that there was, you know, you grew up on all men are created equal. You grew up saying the Pledge of Allegiance every day, you know, liberty and justice for all. Well, I knew it wasn't equal where I lived. And I knew there wasn't no liberty and justice for all, right? So there must be an explanation. This just couldn't just, I mean, are we just doomed to live in these, you know? And I went to white school, so all these people living differently, right? So Malcolm was the one that clarified how this all came about. And, you know my phrase, you don't know what you don't know. And that led me to a hunger and thirst for knowledge that just went crazy. The next book was, I read this book called Before the Mayflower, which, Anne, is what this signifies. Yeah. That's what the 1619 signifies. Thank you, Malcolm, for giving me this 1619 hoodie. That's what that signified. And after that, it was on and cracking. I was lit. And, you know, my life has turned into everything that's happened in my life since then, from the BSU at USF, you know, to being a teacher, teaching a Black history class. And I taught a Black history class.
I didn't know that.
In high school, yes. I taught a Black history class. It was great. And so everything has been since then. And that led me to discover more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Now, unbeknownst to me, and I'm hoping they will be in this conversation with that, is here I am, this this conscious, revolutionary thinking, dashiki wearing older brother. Back at home amongst my, I go home, back home, my brothers and sisters, and now I know I'm thinking different, right?
Yeah.
The words I said before I didn't say now, I didn't use certain words anymore, So I just happened, to be me, and then found out that it a little bit at a time it had an impact on my own family. And I'm saying this because a lot of times if people get this information, well, who can I pass it on to?
Yes.
Well, we all got families, either modeling it or just being you with your consciousness can affect sometimes the ones that are closest to you.
Yes.
And with that, I will turn it over to the next in line, my brother James. I can tell you my brother James. So this one, see him?
Yeah.
See, and you understand. And
Oh,
I'm the older brother,
okay.
but when I was little, he was my protector. Oh yeah. I mean, what's Michael Jackson's line? I'm a lover, not a fighter. Okay, I was not a fighter. Then the boys we call them the ghetto at that time, they would mess with me, but my brother was the one. He was like, he would mess with me. So I always tell him, thank you, for standing up for his big brother.
Oh.
And so, I'm close to all of them,
Oh.
but he's the one that, jumped and held it down. And we was over at Harvard Playground in Los Angeles. Welcome, James. You can talk about you and your growing up and your information of Black history. Your first.
Well, thank you, Joe. I have to say that I didn't always win those fights. But I took it for you. So let me just say that. But I credit you with my discovery of African history, Black history. And I had a hard time in high school. And right before I was getting ready to graduate, you gave me the book or introduced me to the book Autobiography of Malcolm X. And after I read that book, you went off to University of San Francisco. But our sister Deborah, that's between us, she went to Harvard College, and I went to Harvard College. And Deborah was very much into the, in resistance. And so we started the BSU, and she helped me gather up more. They made me the librarian, which put me out in the field to bring in books, for the BSU, for the Black Student Union, for the very first time in this college, which is Harvard College in San Pedro. And I discovered a lot. I mean, I discovered James Baldwin. I discovered all the our poets and and all that. And it just strengthened me to see the resilience that we had in our history. And that empowered me a lot to go on. And I enjoyed history. Anything that didn't have to do with math, science, good. But history, I can deal with, and I really excelled in that area. And African American history became a very foundation of my life. So, and since then, it has guided me to where I am today. So, it still has a great impact on me.
And I want you a little bit about my brother. My brother, I love my brother was, he ran with some characters back in them days. And I was like, oh man, I was hoping that the history and the culture would grab him, because one is that you can have the knowledge in your head, but you got to put it all through your system, right?
Yeah.
And even characters, and then he had a couple incidents, because he he may have lost some fights, but he won a lot too. So, and it comes in life, with all of us, there always comes to be, there's what we call it, a pop quiz, that can, turn into, have consequences. So, and he can talk about anything he wants to talk about this. I'm just saying, but he was able to navigate that and move further and further into the I always say the gentleman he was destined to be, especially around history and scholarship and so on. Did I say that nicely, Brother James?
Very nicely, very nicely. And I just wanted to add, my Black history started with our family, really, and that, that secured me, nourished me, through those troubled areas, because I didn't want to do anything that's really going to embarrass the family. It was too great of a family. It still is.
Jerry, you are next. How do you like listening to your brother James?
I enjoy listening to James and also you, and you're framing things for me because Joseph went to an all predominantly white high school, and I was just the opposite. I went to a predominantly Black high school, and you know how you can be in it but not of it. So I didn't learn anything about, and I'm at an all Black school, nothing about Black history, but I ran with a whole bunch of Black characters.
He did.
And so I learned, and I was in the middle of Watts, right? And this was right after the 1965 Watts riots. So there was still a lot of friction and anger. So I had to defuse it. And this is what my brother James gave me. He used to play football. So what I started doing, I started playing basketball. So all my energy went into playing basketball. And it was I guess my conscious awakening was when Joseph did come home carrying a little purple lantern and stuff. And I was in high school, and I told him to, go buy me some alcohol because that's what we used to do. And he wouldn't buy me no alcohol because I was only in the 9th or 10th grade. And so when he didn't buy it for me, I resorted to calling him names because that's what we did in the hood. I called him Black so-and-so and this and that. And, then I realized he's my older brother, so I should be quiet. But he turned at me instead of, like James would have beat me up. Joseph was going to get to my intellect. He said, Jerry, what's wrong with being Black? And that, I didn't know what to say, right? Because I said, I just froze. But it sent me down to I would say the stream of consciousness that I was thrown into at that moment. And I had to go question what was wrong with being Black, right? And so I think that started me on the trajectory, getting into Black history, Black culture. And you mentioned in the first hour, you talked about Anthony Browder's book, The Browder File. I actually went to Egypt on his tour. So that took me there. I've been to Ghana a couple of times. So I think I was thrown into the stream of Black consciousness, and it just took me to where I needed to go.
More on that. Thank you. Thank you. Your introduction. All right. Look who we got now, Jerry and James. Look who we got now. Sister Denise. Hi, Denise.
Hey, Joseph, Jerry, and JMO. In thinking about, we had a very good Zoom last night. We got to talk about that too. But in thinking about Black history, and one of the questions we asked last night is to the family and friends that were on the Zoom is, when did you learn Black history? Where did you learn it? And the answer shouldn't be surprising, but most of us did not learn it in school. Unless you went, Jane will put his kids in predominantly Marcus Garvey School and K. Anthony were some elementary schools where Black folks were teaching Black folks about themselves, their worth and their value. But I have to say, one of the first books I read was Autobiography of Malcolm X. I used to pass it out to my students, okay? Still do. These books are giveaways behind me, many of them. And that just did something, enlivened something in me that I didn't even know that was not was dormant. And I think we attribute so much to Daddy. Daddy was a very proud man, a proud man. Didn't have all the questions, but he taught stand up straight. You know, don't look the white man in the eyes. He didn't call him white man. Peckerwoods, he would say. But you know, just you know, the other one. But I mean, it's just that sense of pride. And as you the little glimpses of things, of even on the TV, seeing Black folks on TV and the movies and all of that, it's like, okay, there's something to it. There's something to it. There's something to it. And for me, at a very, very early age, I questioned from birth. I questioned things, and some things that we were being taught just didn't make sense. I didn't have the answer, but it didn't make sense. So I would question teachers, and they would shut me down, tell me to shut up, or suspend me for a day because they didn't answer, they couldn't answer, you know, and they wouldn't answer. But I went to a predominantly Black high school in Compton, and that's where a lot of the
Black Catholic high school.
Black Catholic high school, yes. That's where a lot of the conscious sisters were. So I sort of just was drawn into the militant, you know, Angela Davis, the leather jackets and all of that, the fro. It was just a natural gravitation to knowing about that and seeing myself, you know. So yeah, I didn't get it from school. And when I went to college, you know, I went to USF and San Francisco State, and that's when I dug into it, or it dug into me. I think I'd say that it dug into me. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I noticed just hearing them say it, because it hits us all, and I'm gonna tell you, it just hits you, it knocks you out. And it's funny with all the book, and I know it changed me completely as a person. And I always say there was no way I'd be doing what I do today if it hadn't been for that. It's just and they have done so much with it. But let's just go to our dad for a minute. We'll come back to mom, because that's a whole another legacy. But I know after that, when I got that, I would have different kind of conversations with my father, because, you know, he actually moved us out of St. Louis. Well, first of all, he's from Vicksburg, Mississippi. Mom is from Memphis, Tennessee. They met in St. Louis, Missouri, but they grew up in segregated, you know, conditions, right? And my father felt that, and I was a little kid. I love St. Louis. Why we gonna leave? You know, but you know, like all Black families, you know, they're looking to get away from certain conditions and the land of opportunity, which is, he felt it was Los Angeles. But you know, but when I became, and I use the word consciousness. I never use the word woke, because they can make a joke out of it. You know, I use the word conscious. Yeah, I would have conversations with them. I don't know if you guys are too, and I would talk about, what was it like for you, you know, working in segregated, you know, when at work, you know, just traveling through segregated times. You know, this is our dad, right? You know, he's born 1923. So, you know, he didn't grow up in the civil rights movement. He grew up in segregation, right? And I don't know if you guys ever had this I remember one time he was telling me the stuff he did. It's funny, and this stuff isn't in the history books, but it's in the family history books. You know, and all families have this. When there was a time he just decided they used to segregate the cups. Did you guys tell you that story about at work? They used to segregate the cups, literally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's segregate the cups at work, and you know, my father said, "How come I can't drink from that cup?" Even look at my father in that way, right? I'm like, he's my daddy. You know, my father, by the way. Okay, anyway, it was that way, right? So then he told me his story. He said, "Junior, one day I ain't gonna do that, right?" And I'm thinking of the chances, which sound like little, but were big.
Yeah.
Folks then big. I mean, lost a job, you know, banishment, and this is segregation. You know, and you don't. You know, they would lynch people.
Yeah.
You know, they lynch people, and you know, you couldn't talk, look people in the eye, you know, all of this stuff. That's going, and so I was like, damn, man, you really took a stand. It's just like, man, and there were little things he would say that, and I remember that one. I don't know if you guys remember anything that came up for you, but I remember that conversation very clearly, which would cast him not in a different light, but in a, I don't know, because your father's special anyway. But I was just, hey, you took a stand like that? He said, yeah, man. They changed the cups, didn't they? You got one? Go ahead, James.
But this was back in Daddy's Army days.
Yeah.
And Daddy was in the cavalry. And so, he was trained on horses. And he went to Brownville, Texas, him and his couple of his buddies. And they rode their horses to the bars. But what happened, black soldiers had to tie their horses up before they get into town. Whereas the white boys on their horses in the same cavalry would take their horses into town. And Dad decided, no, this ain't happening with me. So, so him and his buddies, they rode their horses into town. And it was a big, a situation that was very unsettling. But what happened, they were able to break that bias down. And it brought equal for the black soldiers and to bring their horses in town. And, I have to say, he was a very brave man, and, he was not, he didn't shun from injustice and mistreatment. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, that's what he did. Now, that really made me feel good that he decided, no, I'm not going to take this. And he changed that whole dynamics.
Yeah. 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 You got Jared, Janice, you got a dad one?
Well, I think for me, I remember Dad was a hard worker. He'd go to work every single day, right? And he loved his kids.
Yeah.
But I remember, when you have to go through racism, sexism, classism, white man, the Peckerwood, all that every single day, the macroaggressions that he go through, he had to have some type of sanity. So I remember he used to tell me, if the man called the job, tell him I went to the doctor. I said, okay. Then he said, Jerry, boy, you want to go fishing? And I go, well, you sick? How you go? He says, I'm just sick and tired of them. Right? And to me, it was such a time of getting him to get away from all the madness. But he would only do it for a day, and then he'd get right back to work.
Mental health days.
That's what they call them now.
Now.
That's what they call them now.
Call them now. I like that. But I just want to get away from them.
Mhm.
Right.
Seriously, take care of his kids.
I love that the emotional and mental toll that oppression, had on him and all of us, all of our families.
Mm-hmm.
Denise, you got a dad one? You want to?
But I will say,
you ain't got a Deanie girl.
I will say that how it exacted its toll on his being. As brave, as strong, as defiant as Dad was. And I mean, that just nips away at little things. Yeah. And we just endure and keep going. And the one thing, I think he channeled all that into us, his kids. I'm going to make a better life for them. I'm going to get them out of the South. And in 1955, he came out here and we came, I guess, maybe months later. But he focused on loving us more than he hated that.
It's good to think about Pops and that just makes me think of my grandmother and the things that she went through. growing up in St. Joe, Louisiana, which I can't even find on the map no more. J-Mo, you're the one that do the excursions to find out where the family grew up. Did you ever find St. Joe's? Because it's not on the map. Is it there?
It's St. Joe's Parish.
No, yeah, Tensall Parish, St. Joseph's. Yeah, it's right across from Vicksburg. You can take the bridge right across, and that's the northern part of Louisiana.
Wow.
And so we drove up about 40 miles. We found it. But one thing I know, that's not nothing but cotton. That whole region is cotton. I've never seen so much cotton, and it wasn't fenced in. So when you ride up to 5, when they used to have cotton, they put barbed wire up so you can get cotton. Down south, you can walk in the fields all you want. But that's in that town. I could never find where she was actually born and lived, but I was in the town, and I went to the museum. So I saw all the enslaved artifacts there, plantation tokens. I mean, it was astonishing. But she was in 1907, but this was prior to 1907. But one thing I did find out that the reason they left that and left that area and went to Vicksburg was because boll weevils hit that area and just devastating, whole agricultural crop. So it didn't leave, much. So everybody had to migrate out.
I remember I had a conversation with her. I don't know how it happened. Either I was down there or she was up here, but I assume I was down in LA, and I wanted to record our grandmother, right? I did. I said, man, and I tell people now, your elders, record them, literally record them. We could sit down and because 1907, that's before any of this social media, whatever we got, right? To hear it from your grandmother, your great grandmother, all those people. And so she said that, and she told me about growing up in the South in Pittsburgh. And I remember when she said the Klan came by, I just froze.
Mm-hmm.
I just froze. I mean, like
I heard that story.
The Ku Klux Klan, my grandmother, she's a little girl, and the Klan come by, and you're like, the perils they lived under, right? This is why when they try to minimize this stuff, I'm not gonna cuss, because we're on there, try to minimize what has happened to Black people, from slavery on up, but the fear that we lived in. The terror that we lived in, my grandmother lived through that, right? And it, it's just people always say it's amazing that we're still here, really, and that's true. So I just, God, I don't know if you guys ever had conversations with we call her grandmother Gugu.
Why do we call her Google, Joe?
Oh.
Because monosyllables when I was a little one, and I don't know what I was trying to say, but it came out Gugu.
You were trying to say grandmother, and it was Gugu, and so she
wouldn't let
it
go.
And
while I'm at it, his name is James, but I said J-Mo.
James Richard.
And that's eventually I learned how to talk. So Jerry say Jerry and Denise say Denise. Deborah Ann, Bobby. I'm trying to say baby. I don't know. Bobby. So
you come a long way, Joe.
Yeah. The more education I got, the better I at talking to my siblings. But yeah, and just my grandmother was just an amazing woman. And she told me one day, she said at the time she used to, this is one bit of history that she used to own a restaurant. She was a nurse, but even when she was saying she owned a restaurant, and she said that Duke Ellington stopped in at her restaurant, and I was like, for real? Yeah, Duke Ellington. But it was a circuit where black folks, then you just couldn't go in anybody's restaurant, right? You could just show and go in IHOP, not that I had a hop, right? Or go to Denny's, Cheddar Rest Black. But all of that's in the history of those that came before us, and they just happen to be in our family. Each of them has done some remarkable things with their knowledge of history and culture. Like I said, when you get it, you keep going and you keep going, you keep going and you keep going. There's and that there is a story in the family which has recently come to light, which we're going to share. But even to the professions that they went into, I'm sure that particularly Jerry and Denise, and they can say what led them into, and then my brother James going back to school, and I had to say, he ought to have an interest in history, but he wouldn't always have interest in school.
Gotta get the right subject.
And then so I'm going to you first. Then I remember the day you're like, he's become this like professor.
Love it.
Professor dude, professor. Like, so when did that, like, I'm going to become Professor James Marshall begin?
Well, you again. You gave me this book, the most precious book in Black history I've ever read. And it's by Chancellor Williams.
Ah.
And that book is big. Okay. I don't read big books. Chancellor had 5,000 years of Black destruction.
Yep.
And I've read that from the front to the back. And I was so, then I said, I'm going to teach Black history. Then before I did that, I said, I'm going to make my pilgrimage to Haiti. I have to go to Haiti before I'm going to teach Black history, the land of our liberation. It got me started. So when I went there, I went to all the monuments there of all our Black heroes, Toussaint L'Ouverture, Dessalines, and all of those great people. And then, and when I came back, I said, okay, I'm starting. I'm starting. And that was my whole beginning. And ever since then, I just studied, and that's it. And I'm still studying today.
Yeah. He has a thirst that never stops. Never stops. And we'll hear more about that. Jerry, when your basketball career came to an end, it led you.
Yeah, when I got off the plantation politics of athletics, I actually started working at a community college as like a recruiter to the high schools and things like that. But what started me there is I created a program within several different high schools where I would go visit the high schools and have the seniors and the juniors pulled out into basically my own little classroom. It was called Mascot, Making All Schools to Opportunities Transfer. And so I started developing a curriculum, and I started teaching these students on the necessary steps, financial aid, schooling, what to expect in college. And at some point I started saying, people start saying, you're a really good teacher. You work well with things. So I went back to the college and said, well, I need to be teaching the college. I have my master's degree in counseling. I said, I need to teach college classes. And of course, they got all them rules. You can't teach if you're in this area, if you're a classified person, you can't get into the faculty ranks. But I found the loophole, which really speaks to when you talk about the grandmother, you talk about our fathers and everything, the resiliency, the strength, the love, the faith, and the fortitude that's within all of us to do whatever we want to do once we put our mind to do it. So I started teaching community college classes. They were called college success classes, and ended up almost 20 years ago getting with a group of Black educators to come up with the Umoja community, which is really now it's statewide. I think we're in 80 different community colleges out of the 115 or 116 in California community college system. But it's all about working with Black students so that they can increase Not the resiliency rate, that's high, but the persistency rate is high, but the transfer and graduation rates, because that was always low for Black students in the community college. So that's 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 why I say I was dropped into the stream of consciousness, and it's just been growing ever since.
And Denise, by the way, let me just say that. Let me say this before I go on. They're all sort of, and I'm gonna use this word, this is a tough word, legendary in the communities that they, you know?
Yes.
I go to LA and I get around people, they talking about your brother James, your brother James, your brother James, right? I get around the emotion people, like your brother Jerry, your brother Jerry. In fact, the thing is, y'all got the same voice. You can't tell one from the other. Jerry, your brother Jerry. She is legendary, but I'm going to tell what she's a legend for. So go right ahead, Jerry. Talk about where it led you.
You know, that's interesting. I have my take on things, and I think we all have our take, and we should honor that. I was led into education. I did not. If you ask people who knew me in high school and the teachers I had in elementary and high school, and I tell them that I'm an educator, they would laugh at you. They would laugh at you. I didn't take education as seriously as I could have. I questioned everything that they were trying to teach me, and they had to prove it to me. Prove it to me. And I'm here to question, you know. So, and I misbehaved a little bit.
A little bit?
Anyway.
Sorry.
So, and then I became a high school counselor and a predominantly Latino college counselor at a predominantly Latino high school in Huntington Park, California. Because the principal said, "You'd be good for our girls." Okay, that's what she said. And so I did that, loved it. And then Father Thomas James, principal at Verbum High School, where Jerry attended, he said, "You'd be good for the young men here." So they found me. They found me. And I have to admit, I was very good for them, and they were really good for me. But I think I was drawn into education because I got it that people don't get it the same way. And I got it. These two nuns who dared me not to honor myself. And then little short ones too. I'm 5'7". These little 5'5" nuns, telling me I'm somebody. You can do it. You're going to learn calculus before you graduate. I learned calculus before I graduated from high school. So and then I get it that students don't get it just like that. So that my experience brought me here and enabled me to work with those students who other people dismiss and don't see. And I get it, you don't get it. But together and in community, we're going to do this.
Long-time community college counselor. Let's just say what that form that took. And that's why if when you're around the people that each of them have been around, they sing their praises. Wow. They sing their praises. There is, and I'm gonna go to this because I think this all stems from something. Let's go back to my grandmother said to me when I was 6 years old, right?
Well, you know.
And I, really, to me, it fits everything. At least for me, the more you know, the more you owe. Is it Junior? The more you know, the more. And I was like, okay, It says, Google, I don't understand that. She says, you will, you old folks, keep on living, you will, right? And as I grew into knowing more, I began to get, because one thing you learn when you learn history, you learned, about what your father did and your mother did and your grandmother and what they went through and how they took those stands and allowed you to do what you're doing. And then when you learn all the other mothers and fathers who were in the same boat that took the stands and risked their lives, and boy, I was like, man, well, I owe big time. I owe big time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And, uh, and, uh, and, 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 you know, that is the motto of Lion Free Omega Boys
Very
Club. You know, the more you owe.
And each one teach one.
Now, the specific, and James, I'm glad you said you went to Haiti because I didn't know. But this journey leads you. I always say black people. You heard me say this in the first time. Black people are not descendants of slaves; they're descendants of people captured and enslaved. And that makes you want to know, or at least framing it as they wanted to me. What was it like before we got here, right? And James, you went to Haiti. I got the chance to go to Nigeria to speak on Martin Luther King's birthday in Nigeria, right? And you know, and you guys have heard me say this. When I got to Nigeria and I got to the motherland, I got off the plane. I literally kissed the ground. I did. I kissed the ground. I couldn't believe I'm in Africa. Oh my God, I'm in the motherland. It all started here. Blah, 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 blah. Right? It was wonderful. And the other two countries I've been to in Africa or South Africa and Botswana, right? By the way, Africa is like 52 countries. You can spend your whole life
countries.
you can go every year and be 52 years old. They have Jerry and Denise in particular have like I'm gonna see what this is about for real. So they're like, you know, so talk about your trips to the motherland, which to me is like full circle, if I can use it that way. to put it. So why don't both of you talk about that? Because you know, you didn't even know about all we knew was Mississippi, St. Louis, and Tennessee, and Los Angeles. And you know, to this day, you know, if you ask a black kid where you from, he gonna say Mississippi, Tennessee. You can't get outside the United States. This knowledge gets you outside of the United States, right? You know, you can see outside of it. So talk about those trips, which have further just help you to grow in your history and culture.
Yep, let me go first, Brother Jerry. I've been to Ghana, West Africa 5 times. Okay, I want to expand. I'm supposed to be in, it was my intention at one time to be in Senegal now, but that didn't happen. But I've been to Ghana 5 times, and it is, you know, Muslims make the pilgrimage to Hajj. They do their Hajj, go to Mecca. And I think it is every Black person of African ancestry's birthright, obligation as they can to go home, just go home. And for me, it was us returning to the scene of the crime, honors those who were taken away and never came back. So us just going to those dungeons, Cape Coast and Elmina, and going the last bath, it is, folks may not know you by name, but our coming back acknowledges you were taken and we come back. To me, it was the most spiritual, divine experience. I could go back and many times. I'd like to expand it, which I will, and to connect, to bridge the gap. I find.
Let me tell you, every time she goes, she stays a week longer than she stayed before.
I find every time I go back, I connect in a deeper level, and bridging the education that they know of, the lack of education they know about us, and bridging our lack of education that we have about them. And there's this organization, All African Diasporic Educational Summit, which has been taking people, college and college, primary community college educators to Ghana to have interaction, dialogue, exchange, healing with educators and folks on the continent. And they are accepting applications now to go if you want to check out ADES. But there's a great effort to know what we don't know. And it's such pride. I mean, I stand taller, you know, because of the roots, you know, where we come from. And again, as folks can, I highly recommend that you make the pilgrimage to honor those who came before you.
I'm thinking it's an updated "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud." To the where it started being saying loud, I'm Black and I'm proud.
Hey,
You.
what you add, Jerry?
Well, sometimes you don't know how sick you are until you take the
Yeah.
medicine. And so I always think about Richard Pryor. I remember when he went over there, he came back, he never used the N-word again. I mean, the healing that takes place when you go there. I went in 2012, and I think it was my first time. I've been there a couple of times. But for me, I guess the transformational moment was when I went into the dungeons, slave dungeons, sat in the same rooms where your ancestors felt that energy and the spirit of the folks that were there, getting that history, standing at the door of no return.
Yes.
I mean, I've wept so hard, and it's that moment stays with you.
Yeah.
And it starts that whole transformation of healing yourself, connecting you with your roots, putting you on a trajectory to find out more. And from that experience, I had the opportunity to go to because then I wanted to go everywhere. I went to Egypt, and I was on, like I said, the Anthony Browder tour. And Anthony Browder is, he's doing an excavation of Karak Amen's tomb over there. He's discovered these tombs, and he's doing restoring the tombs. And when you look at the person he's restoring, it's a mirror image of himself. I mean, there's so many things that start to connect there. Going into the pyramids, going over to the Valley of the Kings, going into the temple tombs, it just elevates you to another level. And so once you come back here, back to the States, it's almost like the dumb stuff falls off because you got a mission to elevate the level of consciousness of Black folks that are here, right? And so that's that stream of consciousness I think I just flow in.
Yeah. One thing I just have to add when talking about Ghana or going in Africa, it was colonized. Ghana's first president, Nkrumah, 1957. A Black president in a country. So all that time before, they were colonized. Okay, so they've got some stuff they deal with, and we've got some stuff we deal with. So it's not an ideal. I mean, I don't want to even say idea, but a lot of healing has to take place on different levels.
Yeah.
And to me, dispelling so many of the myths. Tarzan is not in Ghana. Okay.
But Wakanda is, and
Yes,
I think
it is.
it is. I found it.
That's not true, but anyway.
And that's why I say that, because of the spirit
Yes,
that's
sir.
there. Even though it's been colonized, the spirit of being on the continent of Africa,
Okay.
that is, everyone needs to touch the soil. That's why Joseph kicks the ground.
Hey,
The spirit.
If it wasn't the airport tarmac with all that grease and gasoline, I would have done it, but
We're running out of time. I don't want to run out of time.
we didn't do education.
Oh man, look, you look. Well, I want it. Okay. After all of this that you've heard from, the family, we find out that there is this whole nother story which we knew nothing about, or which was like, just wasn't really talked about. It was talked about in passing, and that is probably easily the most historical person in the family. You heard about our father, but then we find about our mother, Odessa, who is this quiet, loving,
Patient.
put up with dad, put up with 9 of us, and that was about my mother. My mother had this thing. It's funny, you live around there. So she used to come up to me and she said, "Oh, my Joseph." And she see my sister, says, "Oh, my Deborah." And she go to James and say, "Oh, my James Richard." That's she call him James. Then she go to Johnny. "Oh, little Johnny, little chocolate Johnny." Then she go to Jerry. "Oh, my Jerry." And my Deanie. And she go to my Donna. And she said the same thing about all of us. Look, my mother, okay. So she's mom, she cooking, cleaning, doing everything. I mean, my mom was like
Doing everything.
everything. I mean, getting all of us off to school, working at night. And so, she would talk about occasionally, and she was in the service, hey, mom in the service, okay, he's in the service. Dad was in the service. We knew more about him in the service. Lo and behold, we found out that she wasn't just in the service. She was serving in a way that few Black women have ever served. And the spearhead for all of that was James. So James, only because we got his short, talk about the hidden jewel in this family history. And as I say this, there's a lot of families with these jewels. That's why I say, talk to your family. Talk to your family. Find out. Talk about what we found out about Mom's little service in World War II.
Well, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, that drew more manpower into the field. They needed more men, soldiers in the field. So that opened up opportunities to bring in women into the armed forces. But the Black community had to push to get the Black women to serve, and Mom was one of those who entered during that period in 1943 as one of the first African-American women to go into the United States Army. And the battalion she was with, they went overseas, and the
only battalion of Black women that went overseas.
Yeah, the only battalion of Black women to go overseas, and they did such a tremendous job. And they had a 3-month to a year backlog of mail that the soldiers weren't getting. And their motto was, and they were called the 6888. And they cleared the backlog in 3 months, although they were given 6 months. But it's more than that. I'm just doing it quickly. But in 2022, the United States recognized their achievements and awarded that battalion the Congressional Gold Medal. And so before my mother passed, and she gave me 125 photos of that era, from 1942 to 1943. And at that time, I already had an outreach museum teaching Black history. So I said, "James Richard, here's this. I want you to teach about, our role in the military." So I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I got to listen to Mama." So I took those photos and developed. Now I got 6 mannequins with uniforms, and I tell that story with the help of my brother Jerry. We put it together, and I've been going to presentations talking about the 6888. And I have a nice collection of their uniforms and paraphernalia. And so that's where I am with that. And it's a great demand for that exhibit. And as a matter of fact, the only one that have that exhibit in the Los Angeles area. So it's great. It's fun because I never leave my mama. She's always with me. I have to tell her, "Mom, I got to get you dressed so you can go out here and make some money." So that's what we do. We have fun together, and we always have fun together, and it's continuous therapy and just great because I see her every single day.
In June of 2023, there was this Walking in Her Footsteps tour where a group of individuals who are descendants from the 6888 actually went over to Scotland Birmingham, England, where they served, London, Rouen, and Paris. And I was actually on that tour. So we actually went to the places where the women had served and the buildings and reenacted some of the things that they did. But again, it's like Doc says, the more you know, Grandma says, the more you owe. You get this information, you got to share the information. So always get the stories from your elders, because when the elder dies, it's like a library burning down.
Well, sure.
In many ways, all of our families
Yes.
are families of hidden figures. It's hidden figures. This happened to be ours. We had this hidden figure at our house. It was just like, well, I was just doing my duty.
Yeah.
You know, and didn't realize that she was going to be, she and her 854 colleagues going to be the subject of a Tyler Perry movie.
Yes.
You know, for doing something extraordinary. Not just doing duty, you know, extraordinary, and then had to come back to segregated conditions. Those are stories that all of our families have. This is just ours. And that's why I'm urging all of you who are listening, watching, talk to your family. Talk to your families. Find out your story. You know, document it. Put it down. Our stories are all similar. We all migrated from the South to the West and to the North. All of us. So these are common stories. This is why the book Warmth of Other Suns was such a big deal, because it's all of our stories. And we sit down as family and share the stories, right? This is, I ran up against the clock. So, by the way, Marcus has texted me and said, you got to do part 2. Okay.
Joe, let me add something. Let me just add something to what you just said. I just want to just present to us that we are living Black history.
Yes.
Black history wasn't then. We are on this, those of us who are here at this moment in time, we are living Black history. And what we do impacts and affects those, our descendants. You know, so it's not gone, it is transforming, and it's how are we showing up?
And
So what will you do on your watch?
And we tell you, and you know, all the nephews and nieces and little cousins, they listen, you know, they listen to us, and like maybe they don't get it, but they ain't gonna pick it. It's not because they ain't gonna get it, you know, get it from us. And what they do with it is on them. But certainly you can't pass on what you don't know. And you know, this is genuine. This is how we are. And you know, we are the elders in this family right now, right? We're that line, you know. And it is just, I just want to, Lady E, come on, will you come on for a minute and say something to because you know them all, and just say something about what they have shared with the world tonight about our family and how Black history has impacted them individually. And
well, what I will say first, good evening to the Marshall family.
Good evening.
First thing I want to say is that your mother is still, for me, one of the sweetest women I have ever met and interacted with. And your family, the privilege that I had to be in the presence of your family, the love, the unity, the ease with which you accepted me and allowed me to just be there and sit and just, you know, it has been a gift. So thank you for that. Thank you for being on tonight. And thank you for the gift that you've given all of our listeners, because so much that you've taught us. One, continue to stay together and talk to each other. The technology that we have today does not keep us from being able to stay in touch, listen, hear, and share, and be a part of everybody in the family. The ones who've been around for a minute and the ones who are coming on through as you go along. So how wonderful the lesson and the gift that you're giving us we can still get together, folks. You still have ways to stay in touch with your family and be a part of the change, the transitions, and the growth, the grandchildren, the marriages, everything. How wonderful we can do that. Thank you for sharing a part of your life, your history, each other, who you are, how you got to be who you are, who impacted and infected, or however you did it. What a joy and a gift it is to be a part of that journey. And then to hear the story. It's a benefit and a blessing. So thank you for what you've shared as well as taught us about who we are, who we can be, what we can be, and what we can do. The legacy of the Mr. Marshall, I call him Mr. Marshall, not Joseph, and your mother, Miss Marshall. Oh my goodness. And that legacy continues, not just you, but all of us who are in touch and a part of you. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have enjoyed everything that you said, and I agree with whoever that is in the background that says, oh, who is that? Marcus? Jarkus?
Yeah, he's gonna be there.
Hey, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Maybe next time it might be your family. Because we all have our stories.
Yes, we do.
These
And they're
common
all valuable and important.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much for spending the time. Oh my, this has been great. Kick off Black History Month this way. It's been wonderful. And like you said, Denise, we're all living history. All of us are living
Hey,
history.
there it is.
Continue to live it and pass it on.
Hey, no, you are living it and it's being passed on.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Night, good night.